around. Man. Ooh, when I get too real. When I get too real, YouTube want to fuck around. YouTube want to fuck around. YouTube is fucking around. YouTube is fucking around. Refresh your pages, people. Refresh your pages. I have a full signal going, but it still want to kick me off the internet when I get too real. It's okay. We gonna work through this thing. Because y'all know how YouTube like to act when we get real with it. This broadcast ain't about what white people are doing to us. It's about we as adults, what we're doing to us. Because what we give attention to, what we give energy to, the children see. And again, people are motivated through rewards and consequences. So when people see the reward as being a gangster or being LGBTQ or being a trans or being a beta male that asks women to spend $500 on them, or I can't take you serious, if that's what's being rewarded, we got a fucked up future. We as a people, anything that I talk about is not hidden. This shit's not hidden. It's there. All it takes is a little bit of effort. Not much. It just takes a little effort. This is something that we got to do. And I'm telling y'all, this is a we thing because I've done it. I ain't telling you niggas shit I ain't do myself. I grew up on Too Short too. I grew up on Too Short. I grew up in the 80s. I literally grew up on Too Short in NWA. But when you become an adult, guess what? You have the right to make decisions. To change course. I'm going to tell you, I know how I came to mine. I remember I was working with kids. Around 2009, one of the kids that I worked with asked me a question. I don't even remember the question. But I remember it was something about like us, like why black people are in the position that we're in. I don't remember the exact question. But I remember thinking I should have an answer for this little boy. But I don't. While at the same time, I used to know when it comes to basketball, like me in basketball before 2010, 2011 had a very unhealthy relationship. Because it meant the world to me. And should no goddamn sport that I'm not getting paid to play mean the world to me. I was able to tell you, and I still could tell you, name the year I can tell you the NBA champion. Throw a year out there, I can tell you who won just off the top of my head. 02 Lakers, 98 Bulls, 95 Rockets, 87 Lakers, 84 Celtics, 83 Sixers. You know, I could tell you that. 07 Spurs, 08 Celtics, 09 Lakers. I could tell you who led the league. I could tell you who the MVP was. I could tell you, you know, the main three stats. I was able to do all this shit. But when the children asked me something that can get them some kind of constructive advice, I didn't have an answer. That embarrassed me. Why do I know more about a sport that I'm not being paid to play than I do information that can help unlock a child's mind? Niggas, as much as we talk sports and top 5 hip-hop artists, we already got the talent. We can figure this shit out fast. As much as niggas talk about who their favorite rappers are and can quote their lines, if you can quote why, if you can sit there and argue for an hour why you think LeBron James needs to be the MVP, then you have everything it takes to get some information up and pass it down to those who need it. We already have it. We just misplaced with it. We glorify these fucking rappers, athletes, entertainers, and don't have nothing when it comes to knowledge of self. I throw these people out here for you guys, for everybody, because this is my way of helping. My way of helping is to throw out heroes of the past and of the present, so we can each one teach one. What message are we sending when we know these irrelevant stats and things, and we're glorifying former street niggas? What message are we sending? Where are the priorities that we have lined up? Kids got to know these things. Knowledge of self is very important, and we're not going to get this from the mainstream. We have to start it on the grassroots down in our homes. Because when we tell our children and we know about what we've really done here as a people, these entertainers and fake ass gangsters that we glorify. When I say fake gangsters, I ain't saying they do gangster shit. I say fake gangster because all black gangsters that we glorify did they gangster shit to other black people. If you ask me, that's not real gangster. If all your gangster has been put on black people, that's not gangster. That's not gangster. That's actually kind of weak, if you ask me. You're going to go at the people who are the most defenseless? Okay. That's something to uphold. Ooh. That's something to glorify. You're right. Destroying black families, Rob McCoy, is not gangster. You took out somebody's father. You stomping out somebody's son. You mistreating somebody's daughter. Ain't none of that gangster. I put up this. Let me give you guys I'm gonna give you guys a few people throughout this broadcast that we need to glorify. But when I glorify black greatness, I like to start with the simple things sometimes. You know somebody we need to be proud of who gangstered society, white society? John A. Burr. Look up this name, John Burr. Who was John Burr? John Burr was born a slave, eventually became a sharecropper who had a talent for mechanical engineering. When he moved to Chicago as a steel worker, do you know in 1898 he patented the rotary mower? Yes. And he was the first person to get an official patent for the lawnmower. In 1899. Do you know that every time you see a lawnmower, someone cutting grass, that's an opportunity for you to share to a black child that lawnmower was invented out of your mind. Before a black man invented the lawnmower, people were going around with shears cutting grass. We see lawnmowers every day. How much can that do to the mind of a black child who grows up in a school that don't care about him, sees nothing but negative images about him or her, sees nothing on the news about other than gangster and bullshit, After they are flooded with these images all day, every day from the mainstream society, when they're driving home with you from work, from school, going to the store, and they see someone across the street cutting grass, it's a reminder every day, we invented that. What does that do? See, it'd be different if you guys talked about a Larry Hoover and balanced it with this, but you don't. You go from Larry Hoover to Jay-Z to Big Meech to all these images of people, 50 Cent, who got they start, quote unquote, according to their words. I don't believe Jay-Z was the drug dealer you say he was, but that's what people know him as. And then turn around and say these kids are crazy. That's why I don't listen to a lot of these punk ass adults talking about the kids. Fuck you. The kids ain't no more crazy than the environment we place them in. If the kids are crazy, it's because we have them in a crazy ass environment and we ain't doing shit to change it. I ain't gonna sit there and try to be popular and let that shit happen. I know I could have done the same broadcast on talking about how great the show was and breaking down what Kanye said and Drake and Kanye getting together, Jay Prince. I could have taken that angle and got 5 times the views and put myself in position to get sponsors to talk about that crap. But fuck them sponsors if they don't want to sponsor what the hell I'm talking about. And fuck anybody who don't want to listen to what I'm talking about. I don't give a shit. I ain't got to be popular. Because right now, popularity is leading to... You got to be on some bullshit to be popular. And I don't want to be part of that. No one's stamp of approval on DwannBrown is contingent on me following the program. Fuck the program. The program is made to fuck us all over. I'm good. This gonna be a short broadcast today. This shit keep getting cut off and shit. God damn, YouTube. Y'all don't like this. That's another thing. YouTube, if I was talking about that bullshit, you think I'd be having these issues with YouTube? You think they be shadow banning my videos? Back into it. You know what else made John Burr so gangster? He held over 30 patents for lawn care and agricultural inventions. And unlike most black inventors, he got to keep the money. Yeah, that's really like why they don't like talking about John Burr. John Burr invented the lawnmower, had over 30 patents, and he died rich. Because he got all the money from his inventions. We got people like this in our history that our children don't know about. And I got niggas arguing with me over why we need to lionize Larry Hoover. What the fuck is wrong with us, people? What is wrong with us? These are choices that we making. These is choices that we making. We're not a people with no history. Now, if we really didn't have, see, they can sell to black people you don't have no history, as long as we keep lionizing these people who have harmed our community and ignoring those who did something for our community. They could only sell that black people have no history bullshit to a group of people who don't talk about their history with one another. They could only sell that to people who only communicate the gangsters and the athletes and the actors not the freedom fighters. Like they tell you in the 60s, they tell you Motown was the only black-owned record company. They don't talk to you about Vee-Jay Records out of Chicago. It's a lot of dope. Y'all notice here? I'm talking about people out of Chicago. Aaron Burr was out of Chicago. Vee-Jay Records was out of Chicago. Vivian Carter owned Vee-Jay Records. A black woman was a co-owner of a record of a record label in the 1960s. Do our girls know about her? Oh, but they know Kim Kardashian's getting the law degree. Do they know about Vivian Carter and Vee-Jay Records? Do y'all know, and I've said it before in the show, Vee-Jay Records, after Columbia had declined, Vee-Jay Records was the first record company to release the Beatles in America. Yes, Twist and Shout, one of the Beatles' first hits in the United States of America, was released on a black-owned record label. That record label was sued to high heavens and sued out of business because after, I think it was either Columbia or CBS, I'm dyslexic, one of the two, it don't matter, one of them white labels. After they passed on them, they sued this woman out of business to get the Beatles back. Do we know this? We got all these TV commercials talking about the Beatles this, the Beatles that, and we all know the Beatles wasn't shit. But if we know these tidbits of history, we could throw it right back in these motherfuckers' faces. Yeah, but y'all wasn't fucking with the Beatles. If they want to go around and tell us that the Beatles are great, which they weren't shit. But if they want to throw that lie in our face, we could throw that lie right back into them. Like, yeah, and y'all wasn't fucking with the Beatles until this black woman put them out. Y'all had a chance to release the Beatles and passed. Until a black woman said yes. Oh, but our kids know about Meg Thee Stallion. We got so much greatness, not only in us, but that we've done. Not going to do. Not one day saying, hopefully we get there, do this one day, maybe. No, did, done. Cashed that check and spent the money. And we don't know about these people. I don't expect the dominant society to tell us about these people. We gotta tell ourselves and our children and other black people about these people. Let's put y'all know I like highlighting stupid comments, right? Let's highlight a dumb comment. You're acting like they had the internet back then, bruh. Huh? They had books back then like we got books now. As a matter of fact, the books is where the real information is anyway. The real information still ain't on the internet. It's still in the books. I'll tell you what we did have back then. We had word of mouth. Just like we got now. And if we didn't have internet back then, but we have internet now, 2021. So with us having the internet now in 2021, why the fuck are we glorifying Larry Hoover then? If we got the internet now that we can use to research all the greatness we did then, what's our excuse now? Huh? We got the internet now. We've had the internet the last 25, 30 years. What's the excuse of the last 30 years? The whole black and gangster thing came up and came out around the same time as the internet. What's the excuse? I'm not saying this to criticize you as a person. I'm saying this to criticize us as a people. Because if we gonna end white supremacy, that starts by building up black confidence. White supremacy can only exist with black inferiority. And the way we have black inferiority is not knowing who we are. We can only feel inferior if we don't know who we are. It's literally impossible for foundational black Americans to feel inferior if we just understand the truth of who we are. It couldn't exist. It only exists because we don't know. We have the internet now, so what's your excuse, nigga? Dr. Sinister said Gorin is Agent Vanilla. Salute to Dr. Sinister. But you're right, East Woodmore. We stay celebrating BS. And not only do we celebrate the BS, we got people in this chat room and people that tell me they listen to my show. They say they listen to my show. I don't know how they do with some of the shit that they talk about. But we got black folks celebrating this bullshit and defending it. You know, no, I do expect you to know this stuff because the internet's been around for 30 years. Yes, I do expect you to know it. Pick up a fucking book. If we know who the MVP was in 2016, we can know these things. If you can quote your rapper's favorite lines, yes, you can know these things. Yes, I do expect you to, yes. Because like I started this broadcast, I put myself through this ringer before I put y'all through it. I had to go through this. Why do I know the years? Why do I know every MVP of the NBA for the last 40 years and what year they won it? And I don't know information that's going to help my people out. Why? Why can I talk for 3 hours on why I think Ice Cube and Andre 3000 are the greatest rappers of all time, but I can't talk for 5 minutes on black freedom fighters? The information's out there. J.A. Rogers was around 100 years ago giving us this information. Look, J.A. Rogers books, these books have been out for 75, 80 years. Carter G. Woodson, Miseducation of the Negro, came out in 1931. Information been out there. It ain't no fucking excuse. It comes down to where you choose to spend your time. And to those who are like that, I'm not here being overly critical of you either. This is a message to change. That's all. If you wasn't on this vibration 2 hours ago, that's cool. Get on it now. And stop defending the bullshit that they give us to defend. There's no excuse. Niggas love excuses. Barry Smith, Count Basie was from Red Bank, New Jersey, nigga. Stop that New York bullshit. Stop lying, Barry Smith. Barry Smith is one of the people he likes to get my attention every now and again with some New York shit. I'm about to time this nigga out on social media where I don't even see this nigga shit. This nigga's always just coming around out of left field with some nonsense. Basie was from Red Bank, New Jersey, nigga. Get your shit right, all right? Please. We as a people gotta stop defending nonsense and bullshit. That's it, Fetty TV. If you don't know, why haven't you been seeking to know? Nobody knows it all. We know our schools ain't gonna teach us this shit. We 100,000% know the schools ain't gonna tell us shit. The street niggas in black history, whether you talking about Frank Lucas, Bumpy Johnson, Larry Hoover, Tootie Reese out here in LA, Freeway Rick Ross out here in LA. They did some great things. Relatively, they did do some great things. But when you put them next to our inventors, to our business class, they look like peons. When you put Larry Hoover or Freeway Rick Ross next to T.R.M. Howard, T.R.M. Howard wins every time. You put Larry Hoover and Frank Lucas next to George Washington Carver, nigga? That right there is one person that we don't have no excuses for. Every city in black America has a George Washington Carver High School or elementary. We don't know the nuances of George Washington Carver, but we're putting a one-to-one connection between black and gangster. Nigga, George Washington Carver invented compost. Do y'all know that the food that we have now, the way we farm, probably this country could have starved out because in the 1920s, the soil was overused. The soil has started to go bad. So they went to George Washington Carver and he said, give me 5 minutes. And he said, well, back when the soil was rich was when you had all of the different elements sort of being grown together at the same time that, you know, as things died, it fed back into the soil. So I'm going to invent something called compost that we can put back in to our lawns and onto our gardens so that we can grow food through perpetuity. Have you taken time to find out who George Washington Carver is? I know you niggas know who he is. You excuse making niggas. Man, we just don't know. We didn't have the internet. Nigga, where you got a George Washington Carver High School or elementary school in your city, did you ever take time to pick up a fucking book and look him up and find out why he's so important? More than peanuts? Invented the goddamn assembly line? Rubber? Saved us in World War II? Huh? Black folks, you right, soybean. It's two kind of niggas you can't take serious, black people. It's more than two, but two I'm gonna talk about right now that you can't take serious. You can't take serious the black person that rolls their eyes when given pertinent information and they receive it with an attitude and act like, whatever. You can't trust niggas who giggle when the subject is serious. You ever be talking about a serious subject or something that kind of is meaningful and the person you talking to giggles? If you're talking about something serious and the person you talking to giggles, just stop talking and don't waste your energy and move on. That nigga's lost. We have so much greatness as a people, but we're allowing the dominant society to keep pushing these programs and keep pushing this attention to the people who got their start fucking us over. You giggle when it's a joke being told. You giggle when something's funny that's giggle worthy happened. But you getting told some real information and you want somebody to give you an answer and they giggle first? Oh shit, watch out. Okay, Andre Beasley, I'll take that. Giggling can be a nervous reaction. But most of the time it's nervous is what kind of nerves are being hit. Ain't nothing wrong with giggling, per se. Well, that's right, JL. We're inventors. We're engineers. We're thinkers. That's who we really are. That's a good comment, Evan. I like that. It's okay to be ignorant. But us as black people are oftentimes willfully ignorant. You're right. That's the problem. Being ignorant. When you find out, like me, I'm the kind of person, once I find out I'm ignorant about something that's meaningful, I go find out. Ignorance should all look, let me tell y'all, let me give y'all some game. Ignorance is a starting point. All right? Remember that. Ignorance is just a starting point. Don't judge yourself. And I won't judge you as long as it's a starting point. But when ignorance is the destination and you find out you're ignorant about something that's useful and you choose to continue to be ignorant, therein lies the problem. When you choose to continue to be ignorant and you steadily defend your ignorant ass point of view. When you defend your ignorance, that's when it's a problem. But if ignorance is just your starting point, that's fine. No judgment for me. Hell, I'm still ignorant in most things. No matter how much you know, you don't know shit, including me. I'm ignorant of a whole lot of things. And a lot of things I'm going to remain ignorant on the rest of my life because it don't mean anything for me. But when it's something that can help me or something that can help the greater good of our society, the minute I realize I'm ignorant about something, that's the last day that I'm ignorant about that particular thing. Because like people said earlier, we have the internet. And the internet is a good start. The internet can at least make you not ignorant of something. But the internet isn't where you go to become an expert. If you want to become an expert and really understand something, you still got to go back to the books. The internet is the first step to stop you from being ignorant. Use the ignorant to stop your ignorance. The internet to stop your ignorance. And for further, deeper study, pick up the books. That's how you do it. That's how we as a people can change. That's how we can do our part in ending this system of white supremacy and replacing it with a system of justice. By giving justice to ourselves. By giving our children at least a halfway decent head start. Hey, Barry Smith, if you don't get on the program and what we talking about, somebody in the chat room is going to time you out. I ain't got time. We ain't talking about your little bullshit right now. Moderators, if you see Barry Smith keep talking about shit that ain't got nothing to do with this program, time him out. We ain't got time for that nonsense. Hey, old head dude said, ignorance and ignorant is different. Hey, you right about that, brother. Oh, yeah. Thanks for coming down to Craig Facts Live, man. They came way down from Fort Worth. I appreciate that, man. For real, for real. But, yeah, we keeping this. And on top of it, so this is the message to those people out there making excuses. Whatever excuse you're typing or thinking, I know the excuse. I understand it. It doesn't, but let me tell you something. It don't matter what the excuse is. It don't matter what the excuse is. Stop the ignorance. From now moving forward. We don't have time to be fucking around with bullshit. The city of New York just said they're going to allow illegals to vote. And you still got black people running around thinking that there's some sort of minority coalition. California, Kamala Harris just came out a couple days ago and said that they said that they're going to have a task force to give basically reparations to Central America. They're paying private investments aimed at slowing Central American migration. Basically, give these countries that people are immigrating from resources that can keep their people there. We're talking about using our tax dollars to give the foreign countries that refuse to help themselves, give them some money, our money, to stop immigration. Black people need private investments. But we don't get it because we've trained our youth to look at politicians as some fucking hero and not some bastards that work for us. We are being fucked over from all angles. While I got niggas, I had one dude on my Instagram that nigga literally argued with me about the whole Larry Hoover thing on the one profile. Didn't even read everything the fuck I said. I blocked that profile, and the nigga found another profile to argue with me and people who follow my Instagram, and arguing with them up and down my Instagram over fucking Larry Hoover. And then was like, see the one? I thought you'd be on the same thing. You said that black people, we need our own political party. No, the fuck I didn't. That'd be the worst part about sometimes talking. I talk a whole lot, but a lot of people they hear what they want you to say versus what you actually said. Let me tell y'all something, black people. Don't group me with your favorite anybody. Don't just assume because I speak a pro-black message, I'm sounding like everybody else. I got my own point of views and thoughts on things that are different from anything you heard before, oftentimes. Don't group me. The fuck black people look like having our own political party when we're not properly funding that political party. If black people created a political party today and did not have the money and business class and the finances to push that political party in its agenda, that political party would get bought off to the highest bidder because elections are expensive. But those are the kind of people who argue we need to lionize people like Larry Hoover. People who don't fucking pay attention and don't see the whole picture. He was like, man, but you said that we don't. No, the fuck I didn't. Black people getting a political party, an effective political party, is decades away. We got a whole business class we need to build up from the ground up first. We need to build a generation that's not looking for a job, that's looking to own industry. Once we build a generation that owns industry and owns business, then we could talk about some politics and having a political class, our own political party that funds it. But in the meantime, we still voting for people just because they look black. You can't vote. You can't jump from voting for somebody that appears black to having your own political party. You're missing a whole lot of steps in between that. We live in a two-party system. The first thing we need to do is stop supporting the party that keeps fucking us. Joe Biden came out today and said that he won't do student loan forgiveness, even though that's what he ran on. And I knew he wouldn't do no goddamn student loan forgiveness. But you dumb motherfuckers voted for that anyway. You right, old head dudes, and we need a Bob to protect it. You right about that. Because once you get that economy class, you do need. That's where our gangsters come in. Our gangsters are gonna come in when we have a dope business class. Our gangsters are gonna be the ones that protect that business class. That's who the gangsters need to be. We got a lot of problems to solve in-house. Let me say that one more time. We have a lot of problems to solve in-house. And it starts with knowledge of self and not backing every fucking play that's thrown at us. Even Kobe Bryant didn't shoot every shot. Even the great Kobe Bryant knew he had to pass the ball sometimes. Sometimes you got to play off the ball. If you want to score, the best player on the court has to play off the ball. Make a hard cut to open up a passing lane for another teammate to get an easier shot. That's what basketball teaches us. You learn life through sports. If you're going to be in sports, get the life lessons out of it. The life lessons in team sports is to know sometimes you're the shooter, sometimes you're the rebounder, sometimes you're the cutter. Most of the time, you're going to do something super integral to that play being made, and you're going to do something that leads to the winning score that you'll never get acknowledgement for. Everybody acknowledges Ray Allen for hitting that corner three-pointer to give LeBron James his third championship. Nobody acknowledges Chris Bosh for getting the rebound and making the outlet pass. Sometimes you got to be Chris Bosh. Sometimes you just got to be the one, or you got to be one of the other teammates like that was on the court that would just simply boxed out the defender so they couldn't get the ball. Sometimes you're going to be the one that gets the rebound and the pass. But all of it is necessary and needed for the play to work. They praise the person that got the assist, but not the one that opened up the passing lane for that assist to make it happen. But you still needed it. Again, I'm not doing this broadcast to disrespect Larry Hoover in any way. I'm not doing this broadcast to disrespect our gangster class in any way. I'm just saying now You guys have had enough shine. You guys have gotten 30 years of attention through the music, through the movies. You've had your time. Your time for being glorified. Same thing with you hood rats. These Cardi B types. These Nicki Minaj types. These degenerates. You have had your time. Your time is over. You're now getting back to where you belong. You're just regular people. You want to be a hood rat? You want to follow the line of Cardi B? Fine. Go sit your ass in the corner and do it. But we ain't going to highlight you no more. You don't get all the attention no more. Fuck that. You want to sell drugs and play gangster towards other black people? Fine. I'm not telling you to stop. Keep doing it. But if you want the rewards and the esteem that you got in the 90s and the 2000s, no, that's over with. That's over with. If you want to keep being a gangster, if you want to keep being a hustler, a pimp, a player, fine. Go in the kid's corner and keep doing what you do. 2021 moving forward, it's high time we give that love and attention to those who helped us without harming us. All them nerds that you so-called gangster niggas had a good time disrespecting and taking their lunch money and taking their Jordans. Niggas want to go to school, want to look nice going to school to get an education. We got to deal with you motherfuckers want to take our shoes and hit easy targets, but you see a white person in them same goddamn shoes, you ain't doing shit. Yo, your time is over. Your time for acknowledgement is over with. Your time to be lionized and treated with esteem, that shit's done. Entertainers in general, if you're an entertainer and you don't have substance to back what you do, your time to be famous for no goddamn reason other than being pretty or dropping 16 bars, that shit's over with. If your 16 bars ain't talking about something that's gonna help the greater good, then fuck your attention. You're done. You're done. The new celebrity for the 2020s are going to be those who are dealing in substance. The new hero 2020 moving forward is the hero that has substance backing what they do. No more attention to this bullshit, degenerate, regressive, low-level, low-vibration behavior. No, I don't want to be a player. I want to marry a woman and do right by her. That's the new hero. The person that don't fuck over those closest to them. Every black person Jay-Z came in contact with, he fucked over. And you niggas want to glorify that shit? Hell no. Jay-Z ain't fucked over none of them white folks he done came in contact with, Jimmy Iovine. But whether you're talking about Dame Dash, State Property, Jazzo, he got a laundry list of niggas he done fucked over. Name the white boy Jay-Z fucked over. I'll wait. No more glorifying that bullshit, man. No more. There go the internet again tripping. My internet has all of the signals, but every time I get talking about Jay-Z, ooh, here come the internet. Don't talk about Big Lip Hove now. $50 Cent, another one. He's a degenerate. 50 Cent is a degenerate that only goes hard at black people, but he wants to forgive Madonna while putting out all these degenerate TV programs that only glorify black gangster in prison. Diddy, another one. I don't have no reverence for that nigga. Those days are done. Done. We have too many black greats that have been forgotten. Too many black greats that are being forgotten to be exalting these niggas who ain't done nothing for us but put money in their own pockets. That's just done. Oh yeah, Paul Robeson, A. Philip Randolph. I always say Paul Robeson, if you want to exalt any mainstream artist, Paul Robeson is the one our mainstream artists need to try to be like. He put all of his political political capital, all of his entertainment capital for us. Ended up drinking, suspected, according to his family, had a drink in Moscow in 1960, and that changed him forever to where he became a recluse and died and never spoke again in public and ended up getting some kind of disease after having that drink in Moscow. A. Philip Randolph. We would not have a black middle class if it weren't for A. Philip Randolph. All talk about Chicago, talk about Larry Hoover. Okay, let's go there. When black people were migrating out of the South, out of the rural South, into the big cities, we were doing it for work and employment opportunities. But black people couldn't work government jobs and jobs that pay good money that contributed to World War II. We couldn't get those jobs, those middle class, middle income, weren't learning creating jobs. So A. Philip Randolph is the person that fought for those rights. A. Philip Randolph is a person that had over 1 million people show up in D.C. on the mall in 1941 before Martin Luther King. And he threatened Roosevelt, look, I can get 1 million people out if you don't give black people these motherfucking government jobs that pay a middle income wage. And he put it on the line. And he single-handedly created the black middle class because of A. Philip Randolph's sacrifice. And we over here glorifying niggas that sold drugs to get famous. Get the fuck out my face trying to justify that. Kids don't know who A. Philip Randolph is. The reason why mommy got a job for you to even live in the suburbs is because of A. Philip Randolph. But they know who Big Meech is? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck. I don't know. I'm not going to just sit by and think that's cool. That's not cool. There's nothing cool about that. And then them be the same niggas. See, man, people don't respect black folks, man. We don't get the respect. Well, if the gangsters are the main ones that you pushing out there for us to be respected, why should we get respect? From who? Every culture has gangsters. White people got the greatest gangsters of all. But they'll tell you about, they ain't gonna talk to you about them. They're gonna talk to you about Henry Ford and the Rockefellers. They're gonna talk to you about Elon Musk. about Ronald Reagan. Asians got gangsters, but they ain't gonna talk to you about they gangsters. They gonna talk to you about Sony, Panasonic. Everybody got gangsters. We just seem to be the only ones that put our gangsters first. Nigga, old head dude said too, gonna take over the world. Everybody got gangsters. And when you do hear about white gangsters, it's a balance, because white people get to hear about their gangsters after they heard about their greatness. I wouldn't have an issue with us talking about our gangsters if we talked about our business people first. If we talked about our inventors first. If black people in black society had a healthy knowledge of our greatness, then, oh yeah, for sure. Let's talk about Larry Hoover now. I ain't got an issue with talking about Larry Hoover or Big Meech or Tukey Williams. Let's talk about them. After we talk about our greatness, fine. Ain't nothing wrong with talking about them gangsters after we have a healthy knowledge of self. That's great. After we know about Robert Smalls, fine. After we know about A. Philip Randolph, okay, cool. Let's talk about the Bloods and the Crips. But let's talk about A. Philip Randolph first. That's all I'm saying. Balance. You know why white people can make a movie like The Departed about Whitey Bulger? They can make a movie about The Departed about Whitey Bulger because they done made 10,000 movies about they made plays about Hamilton and glorifying their greatness, and they make movies about these militiamen. What was that white boy they made a movie about a few years ago that was a sniper? They make movies about people who advanced white supremacy first. And white kids get a healthy knowledge about the heroes of white supremacy. Okay, we can talk about Whitey Bulger now. We can talk about these other people now because their people have a healthy knowledge of the people that created the society that they benefit from first. I don't want to hear a damn thing about. Yeah, you're right. We talk about Bunchy Carter. We got Bunchy Carter out there. No one talks about him. He's someone that went from the streets to being a freedom fighter. And back in them days, it wasn't nobody. Bunchy Carter didn't have a bunch of. I'm from LA. Back in Bunchy Carter's quote unquote gangster days, they used their hands to fight. He wasn't going around shooting and killing people. If Bunchy Carter had an issue with people back when he was a leader of the Slossons, them niggas had hands. Problem solved. Oh, we got somebody with jokes. Said my chair complaining? Nigga, your nose is complaining. That nigga said my chair is complaining, but his nose can smell the chair that I'm sitting in from through the internet. Goddamn, they say the black man's nose is a pyramid. You proving them right, goddamn it. Josh Hawkins. What's up, Josh Hawkins? Look at this nigga's nose right here. God damn, you need a pillowcase to pick your boogers out. This nigga look like a human disguise. Y'all know them disguises with the big ass fake eyes and a fake nose? This nigga looking like Humpty Hump in disguise with them thick ass eyebrows. God damn. You can look directly into the sun and not squint with them thick ass eyebrows, boy. Want to talk about my chair? Let's talk about your mustache. This nigga, you look like you molest teen midgets with that mustache. Ah, damn, look at this nigga's mustache. Right now. Motherfucker, yeah, I'm a fat nigga. Look like you. This nigga look like you can cook the hell out of some barbecue with that mustache. God damn it. And why is your hairline not going straight across? Why is the left side of your hairline more current than the right side of your hairline? God damn. Look at this boy. Like, this is your profile picture and your shit ain't lined up? Why is this side of your head further back than this side of your hair? Come on home and cut it off, my brother. Go bald like me. Just accept your fate. The hair thing is done. You got an uneven pushback. Nigga, your nickname is Shoreline. Your hairline looking like the shoreline at low tide, but want to talk about my chair. This nigga right here. Nigga, your lips look like a white woman's pussy. The pink ass lips. What the fuck? You ginger ale drinking ass nigga want to talk about my chair? Let's put this nigga on screen. Y'all gonna come with the fat jokes, you better come all the way. This nigga look like Jordan Clarkson's autistic nephew. This nigga type with his tongue and his right hand only because his left hand don't work. This nigga be type with his right hand and he presses the space bar with his tongue. Jay said he looked like a reindeer. Shit, y'all want some smoke? I got smoke, goddammit. Don't come for me, especially if you got your real profile picture. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Nigga, somebody fucked up the compass you used to sketch on your hairline. This nigga's hairline is at 183 degree angle. Not 180. You know, 180's flat. This nigga's hairline is at 183 degree angle. Just a slight bend from south to north. What was I talking about? What was I talking about? What was I talking about before Pizza Stash said what he had to say? Yeah, I'm going to be on Craig Facts tomorrow. Yes, I will be on Craig Facts tomorrow. We're going to be talking about our weekend in Austin. But I'm saying this again because I don't want to go too much longer because YouTube keep cutting my string off. So I don't want to, I don't want to give them another chance. Why am I saying this, black people? In conclusion, I'm saying this because I know we've been doing a lot of things wrong. And I'm not here to say that we should have always been right. We are a people who've gone through trauma and we're still going through it. The government spares no expense to mislead us. These corporations spare no expense to mislead us. I understand why we do glorify gangsters. I understand why 50 Cent gets unlimited budgets to create his sorry ass degenerate TV shows. I understand why Jay-Z gets all this notoriety to tell us to spend our money on a bunch of bullshit. I understand it. All I'm saying is this. It's time to change it. That's all. And it changes with us. I appreciate the Cash App Photo Culture. I understand why we've done the things that we've done. All I'm saying is we can do something different. We have an unlimited catalog of greatness. Whether you're talking about the black input here in the United States of America, whether you're talking about the black people of Al-Andalusia, the Moors in Spain, you got greats like Ziriab that brought the music that we still play now to Spain out of ancient Mesopotamia. You can talk about Akhenaten. You can talk about the 18th dynasty. You can talk about, we have so many things that we can talk about. Taharqa, Mansa Musa, Benjamin Banneker. We don't even talk about Benjamin Banneker. Designed the city of D.C. and Philadelphia. Aligned the city of Washington, D.C. with the constellation Virgo. Perfected the clock. That's why the clock in England's called Big Ben. Changed the calendar to get the agriculture thing on deck. Our current weather climate system is built off of Benjamin Banneker. And we don't talk about him. The same Benjamin Banneker on the back of your $2 bill. Niggas talk about money all day. Well, talk about the niggas who own the money. And Benjamin Banneker's own the money. Let's talk about him. Black people are aboriginal to the planet. That's why I'm going with African American. Like, I'm foundational Black American. Black people were all across this planet hundreds of thousands of years ago. The Khoisan people been around 100,000 years everywhere. The Twa, the little midgets, the little people that they call pygmies, all four corners of the planet. Tens of thousands of years. Europe, North America, Australia, Antarctica. Hell, it's land masses that are now underwater that used to be thriving civilizations. Because during the Ice Age, what happens when ice freezes up? The water supply gets lower. So guess what? When we had the last Ice Age, that meant the oceans were lower. So there are whole civilizations off the coast of all of these continents that are now underwater. Go and look at the underwater, go look up Bimini Road. Go look up Bimini Road. Matter of fact, don't even look it up. I'm going to show some images for you right now. This is a simple Google search. I first found out about Bimini Road through David Imhotep's book, The First Americans Were Africans. Look at this. This is under the water. This is about 60 feet underwater in the Bahamas. These pictures. Look at this. We built this all underwater. Under the Bahamas. Right now. Right now. Off the coast of Florida. Look at this breakwater right here. That's put together by... These civilizations were once above water during the Ice Age. But when the ice melts, what happens? Sea levels rise, correct? Isn't that what we're going through right now with quote-unquote global warming? They talk warming. They're always talking to us about sea levels rising. Well, that's what happened when the last Ice Age ended. Sea levels rose over 100 feet. So there are civilizations off the coast of a lot of these continents and islands that we see that were once populated by black people. What about the pyramids off the coast of Japan underwater? Look at these pyramids underwater off the coast of Japan. This is Okinawa right here. This is off the coast of Okinawa. Don't that look like the same pyramids that's in Mexico? These were all built. White people didn't get on the planet until 6,000 BC, according to their records. All of these were once thriving civilizations above water. But when the last ice age receded away and melted, sea levels rose, and they washed out cities off the coast. Like here. Let me show y'all one more thing. Let me change it real quick because I don't want me to go to maps. I'll be having to go to different maps because I don't be. Let me see here. Let me see here. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Look at this. Do y'all know that less than 30,000 years ago, Australia, New Guinea, and these Indonesian islands were all one landmass? You see where the shelf right here on the dark represents deeper water, the light represents higher water. All of this was one landmass at one point during the last ice age. When the ice age melted and receded, it rose the sea levels up, and all of these areas, the Philippines, New Guinea, Indonesia, Singapore, all of that stuff became islands. Well, during the last ice age, when half the planet was covered in ice, this was all one landmass. Did y'all know that? Do y'all know that 6,000, 8,000 years ago, this whole desert was full of lakes and rivers? And they have satellite images right now of all kind of river systems that connected Egypt to West Africa. West Africa, Nigeria was now Ghana. Most of this was jungle. People didn't live in it. But up here where you have the Saharan desert, all of this was wetland, rivers, lakes. Do you know how many civilizations are under this dirt that we don't know about? Because at the end of the last ice age, it changed the chemical composition of this planet, turning all of this into desert. This wasn't all desert. Back when the Kushites controlled what's now the Sudan and Egypt, this here was wetland, rivers, marshes, lakes, civilizations, all of this. The history of humans has to be taught with the history of climate. If they're not teaching you the history of the planet and civilizations without adding the climate, because climate dictates where people's moves. Do you guys know that over here, let me see if I can pull it up by eye. I love maps. I'm a fucking nerd. Sorry, I'm a nerd. But where's Folsom? There's a black man named George McJunkin who discovered the Folsom people in New Mexico. Bones over 50,000 years old. Where is Folsom? Let me just stop being a dickhead. Let me just go ahead and type it in the search. Let me do it in the search. Folsom. Do you know anytime you see a Folsom, whether you're dealing with Folsom, Louisiana, Folsom, Georgia, Folsom, California, these are people who occupied North America, black skeletons over 50,000 years old. Right here, discovered by George McJunkin. Y'all see I use Canva to create my thumbnails. George McJunkin, this brother right here, was a former slave turned into archaeologist, and he discovered these bones in the Folsom area. Why were these bones covered up so much? Well, during the last ice age, New Mexico, Arizona, parts of California were all covered in a big ass sheet of ice. It was a big ass sheet of ice covering parts of these lands. That's why when you go into Arizona, if you drive through Arizona, you see all these mesas. A mesa is basically a mountain that the top got shaved off into a flat plain. Well, those mesas came when the last ice age receded. There were people living here in North America, but when the last ice age came, a lot of North America, the Great Lake, the Grand Canyon was a big ass, all this stuff was filled with ice. So people couldn't live here. That ice sheet melted away about, they say about estimates 10 to 15,000 years ago. And that's when people started to repopulate these areas after the melting of the last ice age. But before that last ice age, you had people living here who had to move before that ice age. And yes, they were all black. Folsom, Georgia. That's a word for it. Anytime you see Folsom, Folsom is a place, and it's funny too because most places, like here in California, most Folsom, there's a fucking prison on that land. But Folsom is a place that they found the Folsom people. You can find that in The First Americans Were Africans, by the book by Dr. David Imhotep. We got too much to talk to our kids about than some fucking Larry Hoover. Black kids going around being depressed, wanting to be white, wanting to kill themselves because they think they ain't done nothing when they literally done everything. It's a disservice to our kids to talk about some punk ass gangsters and drug dealers and all this shit when they're walking around depressed, thinking that they ain't ever done nothing. Tuscaloosa, Alabama, named after the Tuscaloosan warriors, a warrior tribe of black people. You got black kids that watch football, college football, want to be a football player. They watch the University of Alabama play out of Tuscaloosa every day and don't know Tuscaloosa means black warrior. Tuscaloosa was a tribe of black warriors that said, fuck slavery, we gonna kick your ass. But you want to talk to them about some sorry ass rapper that can't give you 16 bars of nothing productive. Reality doesn't require your belief. It's something Dick Gregory used to always say. The truth don't need your ignorance to validate itself. This earth has had multiple ice ages, so whether or not you believe in it is on you. No one's here to convince your belief in it. The evidence is all around us. The evidence is everywhere. You can drive through Mesa, Arizona, and see the evidence of an ice age from them flat mountaintops. It doesn't require your belief in it. Remember that, people. And there's another thing. You don't need to believe in anything. That's that Christian shit. Christianity got us thinking that belief in something, that whatever happened, we have to believe in it. You shouldn't believe in anything. Only thing you need to believe in life is yourself. Believe in yourself. That's the only thing you ever need to believe in. After that, let the evidence speak. Montezuma's castle. Look, this is something I went. I have pictures of this personally because I went here. Anytime me and the wife go to Sedona, Arizona, we stop by Montezuma's castle. They call it Montezuma, but this existed at a time before Montezuma lived. These are caves that black people lived in tens of thousands of years ago that mirror the same caves that the Dogon live in now in Mali. There's a whole city inside this cave. Just outside of Sedona, Arizona. If you ever go to Sedona, Montezuma's castle is about 30 minutes outside of Sedona, up Highway 17. And you see these elaborate homes that we built inside of mountains. Yeah, knowledge over belief. The only thing you need to believe in is yourself. That's it. That's it. Oh, look at this comment. She said, Magna said, humans cannot survive an ice age. Duh. That's why during the Wormian ice age, during the different ice ages, the parts of the planet that were covered with ice weren't inhabited by humans. Like humans don't live in Australia right now. You dig? When these parts of the planet had ice, humans lived in other parts of the planet. That's why I said this doesn't require you to believe in it. Your belief in it isn't necessary. During ice ages, when this part of the planet was in ice, when Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, parts of California, Oregon were covered in ice, guess what? Humans lived in Georgia. When the ice receded and left, humans returned. All right? Of course, humans did not live on the parts of the planet covered in ice during the time of the ice ages. They lived in other parts of the planet. Let me slow this down. When the ice age happened, like how I started this whole tangent, talking about over here in the Bahamas, during the time of the ice age, these parts were above ground. Humans lived in parts of the planet that are now covered in water during the ice ages, not where the ice was. That should be very simple for you guys to understand. The same way there's ice on the planet now, and no one lives in the South Pole. Hell, most of China and Siberia is covered in ice. And guess what? People don't live there. People live in the parts of China where there's no ice. Jeez. I'm sorry, people. I assume intelligence. When I say there's an ice age, I'm assuming you guys understand that the whole planet wasn't covered in ice. Only parts of the planet were covered in ice. And the parts where there were no ice is where the people lived. Get it? No, my internet is fine. I have great internet access. I have the top of the line internet access from DirecTV. AT&T. You need to step up your goddamn game. And if you got a problem with my internet, put some money on the Cash App or shut the fuck up. How about that? You always got niggas that want to come in saying some shit. If you got a problem with how my internet is running and you think I need to set my internet up from top of the line DirecTV, AT&T internet, then put some money on the Cash App or shut the fuck up. How about that? No, my keyboard is covered in your mama's grease. She was laying on this motherfucker while I had her on my computer table with her legs gapped wide open at 179 degrees. The grease on my keyboard came from your mama's back. How about that? Niggas always got complaints with no goddamn solution to their complaints. Something else we gotta stop as a people. If you gotta complain about something, then goddamn fix it. Or shut the fuck up. Here's my Cash App, at DwannBrown. My Cash App is right there in the bottom. You got a problem with Dwann's internet? Then hit the Cash App or shut the fuck up. How about that? Again, black people, we have too much information out here to be going around talking about what you believe and what you feel. I don't give a fuck what none of you niggas believe. Hell, I don't take what I believe serious, nigga. Either I find out the truth to the matter or I move on. It ain't about what you believe. I'm going to say this one last part because I'm going to do a whole broadcast on this. But right now I'm going to do a lead in. I don't know when I'll do this broadcast, but I will do it soon. About what we perceive and about how life is. This is the map that they show us of the world every day. You guys are all very familiar with the standard generalized map. But do you know this map isn't accurate to how the earth looks? The accurate map for how the earth looks is, look this up, the Peters projection map. Why don't Google use this? This is an example of how we're lied to every day. They lie to us on things as simple as how the earth looks. This is the map that they show us every day, right here. Big ass Russia, big ass Siberia. They got Alaska looking like goddamn is 2/3 the size of the United States, and little Africa, little South America. When in real life, a more accurate depiction of how the earth looks is the Peters projection map. This one. And this is where we get our news from, folks. We get our news and information from people who knowingly show us an inaccurate scale of earth. They're already setting you up for the bullshit when they show you how the earth is constructed. This is how lied to we are. We're told the earth is this on the right, when in actuality, it's what we see here on the left. And guess what? The information's out there. All you gotta do is Google Peters projection map and you can get an accurate look at how the earth really looks. But we're sold it looks like this on the right. And then, so you get people like me to come around and say, hey. That's not how the earth looks. The earth looks like this. What kind of kickback do I get? Man, I don't believe in that, man. Man, we still need, I don't care what the people say. We still need to go ahead and, Dwan, you crazy. You talking that crazy talk. I don't believe this. I don't believe that. But a lot of you niggas believe, the people that go around talking about what they don't believe what's on the right is an accurate depiction of what this earth look like. So life ain't about what you believe. It's about what you know. The only belief you need in life is the belief in yourself. The only belief you need in life is belief in yourself and belief that you can win and belief that you are a winner, belief that you are God having a human experience. It's the only belief you need. Belief in yourself. Thank y'all for listening to this intelligent-ish talk, this intelligent shit talk. So the only belief you need is a belief in yourself. Everything else, it is what it is. I'm going to be back with y'all probably tomorrow morning, depending on how I feel. Hell, I may do an incense and ashtrays later on. If y'all want me to do an incense and ashtrays, hit me up. I still might do one. I'm not sure yet, depending on my time. But believe in yourself. That's it. There are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those who are willing to pick up the game. My name is Dwan B. Thank y'all for listening. We out.